Alright folks, just wanted to talk about this um, hose management assembly that I designed and built for my i2r 8 CNC machine. So basically this is the second version of this that I've made. This is the first version that I did previously. Basically pretty similar. Just that instead of using a single design for the hose clamps that I have over here, I had originally tried a fixed mount where the dust collector hose was rigidly was attached to this fixed assembly, and then I had another section underneath here. It really didn't work out that well. Plus, I had two different pieces, and I like to have a commonality of parts in my design, so I can swap and adjust them and resize them as needed. So this really did not work out well. So this is my newer version. It uses the same hose clamp on the front as well as on the back, and this can be sized for a 2.5-inch shop vac size hose, as well as the current 4-inch assembly, and they're just attached by 4 screws that screw in for each hose clamp. Also have the touch-off puck holder. You put one on each side. I have one on this side as well. Depends if you're left-handed, right-handed, whatever. And the assembly is held in place using using 2 screws and a 4-sided flat nut that goes into the 2 grooves and the front of the spindle assembly. Alright, so let me take this off of here so you folks can see what it is I'm talking about. So basically, these 2 grooves over here. It's also the same ones I use to kind of hold my dust boot in place, but it's very convenient that the machine manufacturer has these in front of the spindle assembly. So they mount through here, and also I used existing screws to mount this piece to the spindle assembly. So basically there's 4 parts. Let me mount this back over here on the stand, on the tripod. So basically there's 4 parts. You got the main mount itself. You got the top plate assembly. So here's the main mount, and you got the top plate assembly. And the reason why I have that is because my dust collector is in the back, and I got this pretty low ceilings in the basement, and this the light assembly is a mere 6 to 8 inches above the top of the hose over here. So it's pretty tight space over here, which is why I have the hose mounted to this guy over here, and it's managed and supported, and it goes back to the dust collector there. So that's why I have it. If you don't need to have that, then this is a 2-piece assembly. You don't need to have that. All you need is this piece over here. I also have the puck holder assemblies, which kind of mount to the side. Pretty much everything is number 6 screws, with the exception of the 2 screws that go into the front, into the groove. Those are 3mm, and that's really because of the size of the groove over here. Number 4 would have been too tight, and number 3 fit perfect. So plus the hose clamp assemblies, once again held in place by 4 screws, and these are for 4-inch hose, but I'm also going to be making assemblies for a 2.5-inch hose as well, and you just screw it in there as needed. And I use Velcro to hold these in place. Holds it pretty securely, no issues there. And I leave my touch-off puck plugged in all the time. So use it, boom, put it back in, and I just throw this thing over it, and it never comes loose and it stays in place. It's not a big deal. Alright, so I'm going to be posting the STLs up on Thingiverse. So there's four pieces, 4 STL assemblies that I'm going to be posting up on Thingiverse. The puck holder, the main mount, the top plate, and the hose clamp assembly. So it's really 3. Just make 2 of these. Actually, I'll have the 2.5 inch as well, so there will be 4 STLs up there. I'll probably link it to my website, and then from there it'll have a link to the Thingiverse part. Anyway, these will be free for download for non-commercial use. So if you have a use for it on your i2r machine or the Axiom Iconic, like I said, it's free for download. And this is rock solid. I mean, it's rigidly attached, 4 screws. And once again, if you don't need to route your hose towards the back of the machine, you do not need the top plate. However, in the future, what I am planning is to have, since I do have a laser and the smell gets all over the house, my wife has a pretty sensitive nose, so she's not crazy about having the smell of burnt wood or burnt anything running out throughout the house. So my intention is to use this assembly here to mount a kind of mini fume extractor. Alright, so I have this that I had bought. It's filled with activated carbon, and I use this for my first resin printer because of the fumes. But it's quite large and quite heavy, and I had bought a fan assembly, duct fan assembly that runs off of 120. That's quite heavy as well, right? So I definitely don't want to be routing that through. If you're not worried about extracting all your heated air in the winter out the window, you can do that, but yeah, that can get a little bit expensive. And plus, in the summertime, I don't want to be extracting all my air conditioned air out the house either, right? Because I've seen how some folks route their the smoke and fumes from the laser out through a vent in the side of the house. That's not for me. So what I'm intending to do is set up an assembly where I've got either a 2 or 3 stage fan assembly here, which kind of just drops right into the top of my dust boot, and it would be held in place by the same Velcro straps. And then I would take off this hose, right, and I would have a housing in which I would put the activated carbon. And the thought here is that the 2 or 3 stage fan assembly would extract the fumes and the smoke out quickly enough to not cause an issue at the bottom over here, or sorry, at the front where the laser is going to be, and also not too fast so that it goes through the carbon filled housing and not have enough time to kind of do its work on the fumes. So fast enough to suck it up, but not too fast to for the carbon not to have any effect. So we'll see how that goes. But the intention is just have a self-contained lightweight assembly here that will run off of 24 volts that you pull off of the spindle housing. So there's 24 volts coming through here between the air and the ground. So we'll see how that works. I'm kind of working up a rough prototype right now in Fusion 360, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, let me know what you think. Once again, it's a free download. If you have any ideas or suggestions to, I don't know, to improve on it, then feel free to let me know. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.